I don't have to answer my own door, for whatever reason I deem acceptable. You came to my house, not the other way around. What is considered socially unacceptable for no reason? Running everywhere instead of walking. When I see someone running that looks like they shouldn't be, not wearing running gear, I admittedly do assume suspicion. Apparently self-defense isn't allowed in schools. I guess I just have to accept the beating. Hell, you'll get suspended for getting the crap kicked out of you because schools have a zero-tolerance policy. Tip for passive high schoolers: if someone wants to fight and they hit you, it's already done. You're gonna get punished too, so you might as well kick their ass since there's no going back. Going out for dinner by yourself. I do this often, especially eating sushi because a lot of my friends don't like it. I say screw it and just go. I usually read a book as well if I don't want to talk to people. Having fun as an adult. Fun has no expiration date. You don't suddenly no longer qualify for fun and have to live a life of watching the news and drinking coffee. People shame adults for doing fun things, and that's absolutely awful. 40+ male at a playground. Yes, I have no partner. Yes, that's my 6-year-old kid having a blast. No, I'm not a pedo, but thank you for your questions and passive glares. Which one's yours? I don't know yet. I'm still browsing. Being honest when asked, how are you? I mean, you can be honest without unpacking your whole baggage, and it's still socially acceptable. How are you? A. Been better. Or, sorry man, hope it turns up. Refusing generosity. It's perfectly alright to politely decline, even though others would vilify you for being ungrateful and cold. Edit: I am pleasantly surprised to learn everyone's perspectives on this. It seems to be different in other countries. The world doesn't seem so small right now. It's worse than that. You are actually supposed to refuse generosity, and then accept. Generally, you should, because if someone is giving you something that they can part with and isn't crazy like some family heirloom, it is your job as a recipient to receive it graciously. Because it's a relationship, and you should reciprocate kindness. And it is kind to receive a gift, like it is kind to give one. Leaving without giving an acceptable song and dance about why you are leaving. You have basically reached your limit with socializing being not a good enough reason. People who can stand to be around other people for huge amounts of time, more power to you, but me? I can't do that, and I don't want to have to make up an excuse to do so. Being the first person to get up from your chair when snacks are brought into a meeting room. There's always that one hero that does it though, so others can get in line. Oh, I'm this hero. None of that weirdness. I was at a Friendsgiving recently where this happened. We're all there for food. And nobody would go first, including our friends' parents that were there. We're all in our 30s. I was just grabbing a drink and came into everyone standing around and the host saying, well, someone has to start. You bet your ass I piled on my plate first. Standing backwards in an elevator. I've never thought about this before. It is weird and I don't know why. It's weird because you have to turn around to face the right way in order to press the buttons and see what floor you are on. There was an elevator in a building I worked in, and for a couple of the floors the doors opened in the back of the elevator. Basically you'd only use those floors if you worked there and were moving things around on a cart or hand truck, though, so it only happened a few times a week. So I'd get on with my stuff and turn to face the way I would be getting off, and then I'd get funny looks from people because I was facing the wrong way. Until the doors opened in front of me, and behind them, and I got off. Pretty much never failed to blow people's minds. Standing on a roof, sometimes. Why can't I stand on my dang roof? It's my business if I break my legs. Edit: nudity is illegal. Of course I was clothed. Also, no, they didn't think I was committing not aliveness. Skipping as an adult. It's unfortunate because it is faster than walking and much more fun than running. I had an employee 15 years ago who was walking out of the office the same time I was. He was a middle-aged fella with a couple of kids and he started skipping. I said, Dennis, why are you skipping? He responded, when's the last time you skipped? It feels great. Dennis lived in a better dimension than many of us. In some places, calling in sick, because it's letting down the team, or whatever. Get off my back, I'm sick as a dog. There's little I will accomplish other than feeling like death warmed up, so you aren't missing out on much. Plus I could spread whatever I've got to coworkers, then we're all sick. If I am sick, you shouldn't want me at work, because then everyone else will get sick and it ruins productivity in the office. The only possible reason for demanding a doctor's note, is if you think for some reason I am lying about being sick. And considering I'm sick, I'm not going to get one. Because I'm sick. So what makes you think I'm leaving the house for a stupid bit of paper? And to be clear, I'm not talking about you the commenter, I'm talking about bosses etc. at work locations. Not getting someone a gift when they say that they don't want anything. I hate that. I legitimately don't want anything, don't get me a gift. If you feel bad, get me a card, I save all my cards. To remedy this problem this year, I told several family members to make a small donation to a local charity instead of a gift. I figured charities that help homeless people, and victims of domestic violence could definitely use the money more than I could use some whiskey stones. Or a mug with some vaguely funny but inappropriate for work saying on it. My dad gets super offended when I put my elbows on the table. I still don't know why. Edit, for those of you wondering if it's because my dad was beaten for not having table manners, no. While my grandpa was a drunk, he didn't beat his children. Lus, my dad puts his elbows on the table and doesn't reprimand anyone but me. He flicks or hits my elbows off the table when I do it. It comes from partial education and lack of nuance. It's generally accepted by etiquette experts that resting your forearms or elbows on the edge of the table between bites is fine. What the original rule was trying to prevent was putting your elbows on the table so you could hunker down for a good food shoveling like a goddamned barbarian. Source: my grandmother was an etiquette expert. She got a degree and everything. She even taught classes. Ladies can call their friends her girlfriends, but a man, absolutely not, cannot call his friends his boyfriends. That's not fair. Let my boys hug and have feelings, damn it. For years the most physical contact I've had with another male was a handshake. Then I met a group of guys that hug, what a game changer. We unironically hug, say we love each other, talk about our problems and stresses. It's actually the best thing in the world, makes you feel accepted and loved. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Not answering your own door. When there's like a salesman at someone's door, they won't want to answer but they will act like no one is home, and be really quiet so the person outside the door doesn't hear them. But it's your house. I could just stare at a salesman out the window as he rings my bell, who cares, it's my house. I don't have to answer my own door, for whatever reason I deem acceptable. You came to my house, not the other way around. My neighbor also came to my house the other day, rang my doorbell, and I was trying to put my son down for a nap so I didn't go down. But then she messaged my wife and was like, "Hey, your garage is open, I can see someone is home, why didn't you answer?" So then my wife messages me asking why I didn't answer. WTF. For whatever reason I choose, I had a good one this time, but maybe I'm asleep. Maybe I'm taking a shower, or a dump, or in the backyard, or maybe I'm scratching my nuts on the couch. Maybe off yourself. It's my house, you took your shot to see if I'd answer and I didn't, move on. Using swings, playground equipment as an adult. I friggin' love going on the swings. I'm 30 and it still fascinates me that I can quickly and easily get 10 to 15 feet, or higher, in the air with some simple leg movement. One day I was at a fairly deserted local park on the swings having the time of my life. Suddenly Karen shows up with her 2 ankle biters, hands on her hips, and yells at me. "What are you doing on there? The swings are for the kids, not adults. My tax dollars paid for these swings, and there's no sign saying that I can't, so I'll use them as much as I damn well please whenever I want." How much tax did little Johanathan and little Kimberly pay last year? None. Guess they can't use the swings either. Edit, some more info, I'm in BC, Canada. The swings were not the crappy weak ones, but had thick chains and rubber seats. I'm sure they were more than capable of holding my 190-pound self. I didn't tell Karen to off herself, but I did tell her to have a nice day. Don't let your inner kid die. Nothing wrong with getting a little high now and then.
Like and subscribe for more funny, interesting, and scary r/ask Reddit videos.